Hey guys, welcome back. So it's basically the end of February. We've got, well, at the time of filming this, we've got 2 days left in this month. And here in Australia, of course, that means by the calendar, summer is practically finishing. I mean, it's still hot, and it probably won't start cooling down for quite a few weeks here in Melbourne. The video today is about my most worn fragrances for February 2017. This month, I've actually spread it between about 6 different fragrances, worn them a few times each this month, and I'll just get straight into it and just say a few words about each one. So first one for February, worn a few times, one of my favourite warm weather scents, if not, well, it is my favourite warm weather scent, one of my favourite. It's probably gone into my top 5 overall now, and that is Cedrat Boissé by Mancera. Beautiful, woody, fruity fragrance, great longevity. It's just a really nice sensual fragrance. Predominant notes, cedar, blackcurrant, fruity notes, and you know, it gets talked about with as an alternative to Aventus. They're very, to me, they're pretty different fragrances. Mancera's great value for money for what you can get a 100ml bottle for. I actually am still working my way through my decant, but this is one where, now that I'm finishing the sample that I have, is one that I want to invest in a full bottle of. It's definitely full bottle worthy for me. That'll probably be my next major purchase, I think, for this year. So that's Mancera Cedrat Boissé. Next on my list, I have Tom Ford's Mandarino di Amalfi. I have spoken about that in previous videos, so that got a few wearings this month. You know, these are all going to be warm weather fragrances. And I guess for those of you watching in the Northern Hemisphere, might hopefully give you some ideas for your upcoming spring and summer. Mandarino di Amalfi. The listed notes according to Fragrantica, actually, the main ones are lemon, grapefruit, and orange blossom, so not a mandarin to be seen there. I'm not sure, it's probably a combination of things that give that salty mandarin vibe about it. As always, it's a Tom Ford private blend. It's got pretty good performance on my skin, and I highly recommend it from his sort of lighter summer scent collection there. That, you know, the other ones, Neroli, Portofino, Azure Lime. But Mandarino di Amalfi is my favourite, and I definitely got turned on to this one by Stephen from the Red Adolescence. So thanks for the suggestion, Steve. It's one of my favourites. Although this one, not so sure if I'd buy a full bottle. Again, this one is a decant. Tom Ford private blend's very expensive, and it's a topic probably for another video, but if I had the money to buy a full bottle, I would probably prefer to spend it on a whole bunch of different splits or decants. Okay, moving on to number 3, my scent of the day today is Creed's Virgin Island Water. When I think of summer and fragrances, it's so evocative. Coconut, lime, rum, and I love smelling it on me today. I mean, today it's felt like a holiday today because I've been wearing this, and you know, the performance, it gets bagged quite a bit because of its, well, supposedly poor performance, but something like this, I mean, I got easily 6 hours. It doesn't project. I could smell it on my skin, and you know, for most of the day I was just getting wafts of the coconut and lime coming up, and I enjoy it immensely. Again, would I get a large bottle of this? No. I do have a reputable eBay seller that I buy a lot of my Creed samples off, and I'm imagining he does do 30 ml splits, and to me they're pretty reasonably priced, and that will last me 30 mils of Virgin Island water will last me years. So yeah. Next on the list, I have another Creed fragrance, and another one that I really like, and that is Creed Aventus. It's not, I've probably expressed this opinion before. It's not, the mythical beast, legendary fragrance that, in my mind, that it's hyped up to be. It's a lovely fragrance, very masculine, and I love, like that pineapple and the smoke, the birch tar and the musk. I really love the dry down on Aventus. So, opening's nice, but to me, that's all about the dry down, and it's got great performance. And I don't get too involved in all the batch variation discussions. I mean, I am of the opinion, and that this opinion might change. I am of the opinion that something that costs that much shouldn't vary so much from bottle to bottle. But from everything I read or I hear, people don't complain. They like it. Again, I wouldn't buy a full 120 ml bottle unless it was a ridiculous price, and that's unlikely to happen. I'll get a split or a decant and use that up. And again, that would take me a long time to get through. There are lots more other fragrances that I would rather spend my money on. Okay, moving on to the fifth fragrance in this list, most worn for February. It is from an Australian house. I've mentioned them in a previous video, Goldfield and Banks, and the fragrance is Pacific Rock Moss. It's a very marine, aquatic, woody fragrance, patchouli, rosewood. There is supposedly a mandarin note in there, but when I wear this, it's interesting. It's a different imagery that I get in my head from other fragrances. I don't think of the beach, a day at the beach. I don't think of a river stream. What I get in my head with Pacific Rock Moss is a wet, rocky coast on the ocean, and it's more the combination of the ocean and the moss, and the wet rocks that are on the coast, and it's a great scent. I really like it. It's one of my favorite 2 from the 4 fragrances that this house make. So Pacific Rock Moss. Again, for anyone who's interested, I'll leave the link to the website in below. They're probably difficult to get if you're not in Australia, but there's probably ways around. I know there's eBay. You might be able to find some on eBay. The final fragrance, most worn for February. This I got last month, and this I did get a full bottle of because it seems to be really difficult to find a sample or anyone doing splits or decants, and I had to, and this was a blind buy because of that fact. I did find it online on an Australian online store. That's none other than Thierry Mugler's Amen Ultra Zest. Guys, I love it. You've heard a lot of YouTube reviewers talk about this over the last year or so. Blood orange, tangerine, patchouli. Yes, in the dry down, it as everyone says, has the Angelman DNA. It's great opening. It's a lot of people talk about it smelling like orange, what people call creamsicle. So basically vanilla ice cream with orange icy ice, an orange coated ice cream basically. But to me, I get more of a vibe like this. And that's not a bad thing. It's just that's what that reminds me of. That's what this fragrance reminds me of. So that's my most worn fragrances for February: Cedrat Glacé, Mandarino di Amalfi, Virgin Island Water, Aventus, Pacific Rock Moss, and Ultra Zest. So just on another note, I have recently, and I hope I still have it, recently had my 50th subscriber to the channel, and I'll have to say I'm blown away. 50 is a big deal for me, and what I'm hoping to do is when I hit particular milestones when it comes to subscriber numbers, I'm going to do a giveaway. And my giveaway for hitting 50 subscribers, and I'll do one at 100, and then maybe 500 and 1,000, and then we'll take it from there. But I am going to decant 5 ml of Ultra Zest, sorry about that, in a little sprayer, and I will give it away to random subscriber or someone who's commented on the video, and then I'll update in my next video who that person is, and I am happy to ship the sample to anywhere. I mean, what happens from your end is another matter, but I'll happily ship it at my expense. And it's just me saying thank you for watching and subscribing, commenting, and for all your support. So that's it from me. I will catch you next time, and you've been watching The Sentinel. Thanks.